Hello everyone. It is 31st August. It's Tuesday. And here is some street art of Bruce Lee. It's 29 degrees. This is my second walk today. Continuing to show you Chinatown street art. I already did a walk that started from Kreta Ayer or Lau Pa Sat. And walk to the edge of Chinatown. So for this walk, we'll have a look at some of the really interesting and wonderful street art that you can find in Singapore Chinatown. The time currently is 5 minutes to 5 p.m. and behind me there is the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, which is one of the really impressive big temples. This part of town, this is one of the beautiful streets with the old shop houses and lots of things you can buy, which I think is what you'll find in most Chinatowns. Of course, Singapore's Chinatown is special in that when you have a country where the majority of people are or have a Chinese background, it's a little bit, I guess, unusual that you then have a Chinatown. But of course, very early on, when they were planning how to develop Singapore, the different parts of towns were divided sort of based on the group of people who would be living in that area. And even when those plans were made, they recognized that the majority of people would probably be Chinese. And somewhere in the 1830s, I think, the shop houses here started going up. You can kind of think that as starting of this Chinatown, the way it is. These are some of the traditional renovated shop houses. The temple has beautiful decorations. That's the pinnacle there at the back. That's an HDB building, which is kind of thought of as the whole ending Chinatown. There is a place you can go to at the top where you can see pretty good views of the whole city. Let's go this way, although the booths over here they are actually opening up now. Certainly quiet now. You can see a lot of the booths closed. Back over there, I think someone was playing Go. So I guess like most Chinatowns, this is, to me, feels like a little bit of a weird mix of having that heritage, having everything tourists would ever need and not need in their lives. And we're not that far from the tall buildings in the city. That's Maxwell MRT station, and this is South Bridge Road over here. So we'll walk over to Smith Street. We'll be crossing sort of between Smith Street and Temple Street here in Chinatown, and the lanes and alleyways that connect them. That's where we'll find most of the street art. And there you can see just a little bit of a corner, one of the art pieces that I covered in my previous video from Lau Pa Sat Kreta Ayer this way. So we're going into the Smith Street, which is also known as Chinatown Food Street. I have already checked in, so I had a carbonated cola beverage around here. And here is our first piece of street art. Detective Conan in Chinatown. So we'll find a lot of these very detailed paintings around this area, which are really fun to look at and try to figure out everything, all the details. There's cats over there. So this is usually a very busy area with nightlife. Hi. Notice some of the restaurants have closed doors, are looking for tenants, but not all of them. There's still street food. Well, have a quick look at this street here, which is depicting a Chinatown traditional home. With a lot of the items that would have been traditional for the past generations. There is also a cat with a fish. We'll go back in here. Sorry about that, I don't know how that looks when I go under the line. It's really the only way to get a picture of that, and there's also no one there. So it should be fine. I think those are mainly there to limit people from getting out of the trace together area, which is why we get back in. The sun is now coming at an angle that cannot be good for you guys, but go here. Let's go to the shade. So again, this area often has a lot of these stray cats, but I've actually been working with an organization. I'm donating to an organization called Project Luni, LUNI. They help the street cats in Singapore by neutering and also fostering the kittens, finding new homes for them. So that's all very good work. Here we go. There's another one of those from the same Chinatown complex that we were around earlier. They have this yellow and red theme, and there are more of those inside, but having even dined there, I haven't found them all, I think, from what I saw online. So I'm not going to take you along for a long look for them. Instead, here is the Chinese scribe. This is a really lovely painting as well. Of course, they were a real thing. Often people who came here apparently couldn't write home, so they would use the services of a scribe who would send letters home. It says here, in the olden days, letter writers played the important role of helping our illiterate migrant forefathers write letters to their loved ones back in China. The letters often conveyed feelings of homesickness and loneliness. Letter writers also doubled as calligraphers for Chinese New Year and religious altars. And the details on these are always really nice. Really like this one. I think he's got that look on his face, like he's really, I don't know, he looks happy. I don't think this is my turn yet. Nope, not here. This place is pretty huge as well. There are a couple of places there, like Mikkeller, which is a craft beer place. There's another one quite close by to it. You maybe wouldn't expect to find them in a place like that. And then you have your more sort of Chinese things being sold here. And then just, everything. This area is really fun to be in. There's always something you haven't seen before. Here's one you could easily miss. This is actually stickers, I think. It's some children doing the line dance. Supposed to cross over to Temple Street, Just hoping I can find the right alleyway. Oh, we'll go over here and circle back if need be. So this place also would be a lot busier with tourists. We'll go the other end to look at the houses. Thank you, thank you. Here's another one. Well, this shortcut is not too pretty, but there is one more small lane I think we should try to go and find before we carry on to further along Temple Street and to South Bridge Road. Take it across. think I'm looking for a small alley. There we go. I think this is definitely worth finding. Let's focus on this one first. This is for, I think, the Lantern Festival. That's the theme of this wall. And there is a small cat here too, with the Hello Kitty foil ball. Actually got a helium foil ball not too long ago, and one of my cats was just incredibly afraid of it. I didn't know that cats are afraid of them. I think they remind them of like birds of prey and stuff that's just too high up. So that might be why this little guy is kind of curious about it. And then here are all the wonderful lanterns and the whole family. I think that's one of the most fun ones in here. It's very detailed as well. Like, look at all those dragons, fish. I think that's mooncakes on the table. Oh, isn't that just really pretty? Let's see if I can get a picture with my other phone while we're here. Bear with me for a tiny bit. Okay. This, of course, is the way out of Chinatown MRT station. We'll go back a little bit. Worth a detour, right? I think so. I am on a little bit low battery on my phone now. But don't have that long to go. Interesting side street. I think eventually we need to be on this side. So there's another work of art. Sorry, there is some trying on of truths going on in the middle of the street. So we'll make room. And here is our next one. Of the Chinese opera. They used to be on Temple Street, fairly popular and famous Chinese opera house. I'll take a image as much as I can from between the cars. Guess those costumes are really wonderful, as you can see, as is the detail of the people watching them. Here's someone getting ready for the performance, getting some food, the street vendors, children playing under the stage. If I'm lucky, these guys will get going. We'll see. Get out of their hair so they have a lot of space. That, of course, is the side of the Indian temple. There are some colorful cows on that side as well. And we do now have a bit more space to look at this. At least from a little bit of a distance. So this is very detailed, like you can see. It's quite wonderful. I like how they captured the expressions on people's faces as well. There's an elderly lady there watching. The impressive costumes as well. But it is like all street art in the middle of the street, so you have to make do with what you can get of the view. It's not their fault, they're parking completely legally, I mean. So, But we did get a peek of it. Just look at the detail. Really like that one. Faces are amazing. So I'm a big fan of street art if you haven't figured out already. I really like this. There's the little dog. And with that, we'll make our way to Sago Street Road. See how long I can make my battery last. And also where can I cross? Because we will be crossing to the other side. We are coming to the end of this walk, and if for some reason I have to end this with the customary notes, then you'll know what happened. I am way too close to the temple to really catch that. There's a lion and a cow. There's one of the gods. We'll see if we can get it from the other side of the road. This street up as well would be full of little stalls of wood that sell all kinds of things. Here's a little better look at that temple. Going to have to walk a little bit to cross. But that's where we're going next. So you can see those as a preview, or you can see them if I don't. If I don't find a way to get there soon enough. It's a really beautiful street. That's Mosque Street. Little India and Chinatown seem to be the most sort of colorful places where you get all of these both houses and decorations. We're back on Cross Street, by the way. If you watched the first part, we came from there. And we're crossing in Chinatown. As you can see, the street signs also have the Chinese characters, Chinese names. I think I want to go around this construction work and not into it. there you can see both the quite huge pinnacle HDB and also the Indian temple. We are nearly where I want to get to. So I'm just very, very interested in seeing if my luck today holds out. So we're turning to Mohamed Ali Lane. As the car goes by, we'll have a full look at all of this artwork here. So this is the first one with the masks and a horse and puppets. There are some people watching him as he sells those. And then here is I guess a street stall selling all kinds of things, bananas and magazines, sweets, and finally this one where they're making the lion heads for the lion dancers, and above there a cat is trying to get a fish that has been caught. Some people are obviously living in that house and lowering down a basket for maybe for the seller to give them something. So that's also very, very detailed. You can see the unfinished mask there as well. And in the corner there, which is where I think I'll also end, look at that little guy. Isn't that wonderful? Like the level of detail. And here we are. I hope you enjoyed this Chinatown street art walk as much as I have. I really love these paintings. I think they're so detailed and lovely. I love them in all the countries that I've been. Find them in a lot of places in Southeast Asia, and I always just love to have a look at these and find all the little details on them. So thank you for joining me today for the walk. If you would like to see more of Chinatown, I'll do a Mid-Autumn Festival walk once the lanterns and lights go up. That should actually be in around a week because we're coming to September now. And that's starting the 7th, I think. So I'll be back very shortly. And I do walks pretty much daily around Singapore. So if you would like to see more street art or just more walks in Singapore, then do subscribe to the channel. There's another walk I did of different part quite close here with different types of street art. That's the part 1 of this walk, and you might enjoy that if you haven't watched it already. And for other walks as well, please subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. It's a really good reason for me to go out. I didn't walk for quite a while, even though I thought about it and I wanted to go to all these wonderful places. So having had that feedback that people are enjoying these walks has been really great. A good reason to go out and do some more walks. So with that, thank you so much. And please subscribe if you want to see more. I hope I see you again soon.